Hello everyone, this is Latasha Blanton from the Real South Africa Travel and Tourism. And you're going to have the opportunity to travel with Phil Scott to
sunny South Africa. You guys are going to have the opportunity to come to Johannesburg, and you guys are going to be coming to Durban. And we're going to set it up perfectly. It's going to be like a luxury experience for you guys. At the same time, you're going to be getting some culture. And of course, you're going to get an opportunity to talk to Phil, hang out with Phil, and get his views on Africa and South Africa.
You're also going to get an opportunity to explore the lifestyles here that are available in South Africa. And we're going to do all that for you in an amazing 10 days. We do hope that you go to the website and book, because we do look forward to seeing you here.
Absolutely. Our website is therealsouthafrica.com. Go there, scroll down. You'll see a picture of Phil, and just go ahead and book there. So we'll see you here in what we like to call sunny
South Africa.
Most of us have dreamt about traveling the world and seeing all these countries, sites we read about, heard about, and that's kind of the dream, to work hard, save, and go around the world and see the sights, meet new people. But for some people, it's hard. It's really, really hard to do that. Not because we don't have the money, not because we don't have the idea of where we want to go, just because of the skin color that we were born with. And for some of us, it's even worse because of our passports. African countries' passports, some are better than others, but just generally, we go through hell and back just to travel a country. Let's say a citizen from maybe the UK won't have to go through. But that's our reality. And I've gone through it before, and I hear people that I know going through it, which sucks because it discourages you from seeing the world. We're entitled to do the exact same thing. Other people are allowed to do so without any stress and anxiety, but just even applying for visa or booking a flight is so stressful to some of us. It's unfair. But I wanna show you a video of a sister from Kenya. I believe she's from Kenya, and her name is Lavin Maruti. And she's a writer. She talked about her experience traveling to Bali and how horrible it was. I want to show you a little bit of her video. We'll come back and talk.
Story time about how I got searched in an airport like a criminal. I'm not even kidding. I was searched like a criminal. Anyway, this time I was flying from Nairobi to Bali via Malaysia. I decided to stop by Malaysia so that I can explore the city for some few hours, okay, and go to Bali. So the time I was flying from Malaysia to Bali, I was so excited. Actually, the entire time, even before that, I was extremely excited because Bali was on top of my bucket list destinations, yeah. So I boarded my flight from Malaysia to Bali. I have landed in Bali, and in my mind I'm thinking that this process will just take me 40 minutes to 1 hour for me to exit the airport and check into my villa. Little did I know that this process will be 4 hours in the airport. Let me take you back. I've landed. There was a long queue at the immigration, so I'm there waiting at the immigration, and finally my turn comes. I hand over my passport to the immigration officer. He looks at it, then actually he takes some time to look at it. That's one thing. Yeah, I was like, what? Like, these other people are just checking, then done. But this one took a little time to look at my passport. Then now he picked the phone and called. I don't know who he was calling, but within no time there's a guy, I think it's the supervisor or something, I don't know, but let's call him supervisor or manager. This manager comes, and the immigration officer hands over my passport and my documents to the manager. He tells me to come, behind the immigration counters and follow the manager. I do so. So this manager is given my passport, my travel itinerary, the return ticket, my accommodation itinerary, all those kind of stuff, my COVID certificates, because that time I was traveling, we were required to present a PCR test. So in my mind I'm thinking, okay, maybe they're checking the PCR test, I don't know. But again, it's still valid. So anyway, this supervisor tells me to sit at a certain bench there and wait. He goes inside with my documents. And I've waited there, okay, me thinking that this wait will be maybe 30 minutes maximum. This guy just passes me, goes, comes, passes, nothing. But the next people came to join me who were stopped at the immigration. They were also blacks. Tell me why. Like, just tell me why we have to go through all this screening or being stopped for extra searches and stuff. So I'm there with this chick who we are just talking. For her, it was problems with the visa. Back to my story. I'm there waiting. I've already waited. It's 1 hour gone. 1.5 hours, this guy comes with my documents and he asks me questions like where I'm going to stay, how long am I planning to be in Indonesia, what do I do, am I with someone, what, like oh goodness. This time people who we had boarded the flight with, they have already gone. I'm the only one left there. My driver is waiting for me. He's also getting impatient. He asked me those questions, goes back with my documents. I'm just sitting there seeing him passing me, and I'm like, what are these people checking? I honestly did not understand what they are checking. And even if you tell me this is not about race, tell me why it's only black women. We were 2 black women there who were stopped, and all this other time I'd not seen any black person in that airport. The people we were with have gone. The 3 hours have gone. This guy comes with my documents and tells me I can go. I take my documents. I'm like, okay, now it's time to tell my driver I'm coming. Actually, I tell him I'm coming. So my driver thinks that it will take me like maybe 10-15 minutes to be out. I go pick my bags. I had 1 check-in bag and a cabin bag. And once I've picked my bags, going outside, a custom officer stops me. Customs officer, you know those guys who search people suitcases, they tell you to open, they search people for drugs. Yes, so this lady sees me and is like, signals me when I'm passing the scan. My bags have been scanned. She signals me to come. Oh god, I'm like, when will this end? So she tells me to put my suitcases. There's like a bench there, and behind them they have their offices. She tells me to put my suitcase there and open my suitcases. I cooperate. Of course, they're doing their job. For me, I have nothing to hide. For as long as you're not doing anything illegal, like, you have nothing to hide, yeah? I put my suitcases there. She starts removing my clothes one by one. And mind you, I've packed my clothes. It's a 1-month vacation, because mostly I go for 1-month vacations. So she starts removing clothes from my suitcases one by one. Everything, it's out. She requests me to give her my passport. I hand it over to her. She goes with it inside their offices. I don't know what they check again. Remember, I've been checked. My passport has been checked again by the visa immigration people. So she checks it. She comes back and starts asking me the same questions I've been asked by the immigration officer. You know, where are you going? How long will you be here? What do you do? At that time, I was just feeling like crying or just responding in a rude manner, but I'm so good at composing myself. So I'm there. I answered all the questions. You know, I showed her what I do. You know, I'm a writer, and that's what I do. I showed her my business cards also, and my website and stuff like that. It was crazy. I didn't even, because, you know, like, other people were just passing me. People who even looked more of drug dealers, they were not being stopped. And me, I'm there, I'm dressed decent, I'm being stopped just because, you know what? This is what I think, because I'm a black African woman traveling solo. I had bought, was it tea or coffee in Malaysia? She takes those things that look like powder, goes and scans them. I think they're checking for drugs. Not I think, I know. They're checking for drugs, yeah? She passes these things in the scanner again. Remember, my bag passed through the scanner. She goes back and puts them in the tray and passes them again through the scanner. Okay, then after that, at long last, after she has asked me a lot of questions and all this searching and scrutinizing me, trying to get all information she needs, she says, could you please help me pack these things back? Of course I do so, because that time I don't want, you know, at this time you don't want to quarrel or just be rude to anyone. You've not even entered the country. So if you start being rude, you might be taken to the next flight back home. I was so composed, but deep inside I was burning in anger. I was like, why am I supposed to go through all this and these people are passing me and they're not being stopped? All this time I was at the airport, no one else was stopped. It was me and that other black girl. After we're done like packing everything, she tells me, welcome to Indonesia. I'm like, anyway, I just responded lowly, but I was so upset at that time. And my driver, because also my driver was so upset because he thought that I'm lying to him and he was about to go. Thankfully, this guy actually waited for me, you know. And I left the airport, went and found a SIM card. And yeah, that's how my first experience traveling to Bali was. The second time I was landing in Bali, actually no, the third time I was landing in Bali, I went through the same procedure. So I went through these experiences twice. My first time in Bali and my third time landing in Bali. Anyway, if you're a black solo woman traveler, note.
She went through all that just because of the color of her skin, according to her. But I suspect her passport has something to do with it as well, because as I said, if you're from most African countries and you're carrying that passport, trust me, you're going to be treated like a criminal, even though you've done nothing wrong. And it's so frustrating because you see how others are being treated. You see how a different skin tone just gets to pass through immigration and you're told, come here, you just stand here for me. If you haven't been through it, I hope you never have to go through it, because it's the most horrible feeling. Because one, you feel like you've been picked on. Two, they make you wait for a long time even though you've just landed and you're already tired, you're jet lagged. And on top of that, now you have to answer the silly questions. They have to take out everything in your luggage and check if you're not carrying anything. They have to search you, touch you. They have to interrogate you like you're a criminal. It's just so horrible. I understand some people say just don't go to those areas then. Yes, that's one alternative. But also we need to fight to have our rights as well. We should not just allow these people to mistreat us because of who we are or because we're born in a certain way. We should not allow them to get away with this. I understand for now we can avoid certain areas if we don't want that drama, that anxiety that comes with it. But if there's a place your friends are going to and you're the only one being excluded, it doesn't feel nice, obviously. So we need to call them out. But if your choice is never to go to those areas, well done to you as well, because I respect what your decision is, but some people just don't want to take no for an answer, because why are we being picked on? They have every right to ask that question, right? But anyways, fam, what are your thoughts on this? This is not the first time we talked about traveling while black, right? We see it often now because of TikTok and Twitter and Instagram and YouTube, because people can now tell us their experience more and we have access to that information. But this was happening way before technology. It's just now we're hearing about it more and more, and just it feels like it's happening more often now. That's not true. If anything, I feel like there's progress now that there's social media. They treat us a little bit better because they know we can expose them. But anyways, fam, let us know down below what your thoughts are about this. If you've faced this before, what was your experience and how did you handle it? I am Wangel Zalalam. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.